back, everybody, to the Long Voyage episode. What is it, 22 or 23 or something in that area, general vicinity ish.
20 something.
20
Something
something.
like that.
Early 20s.
Yes, yeah. Where we all wish we were.
No, really not.
Apart from you.
Apart from me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, on that sidetrack note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Long Voyage.
Yes, it is in fact episode 23.
It is episode 23, thank you very much. And we are our characters certainly had an eventful couple of episodes play out last time, near-death experiences and so on.
Yes.
But I shall leave that up to you to relay. What's the word I was looking for? Chris, take it away, please.
Thank you. From what I remember of it, last time we attempted to get into the castle of the city of I keep wanting to call it the city of Awful because I can never remember the Kepa. That's it. I can't remember the fantasy Asian name for it. So there you go. But yes, we made our way there with Ren, is it?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry. I'm terrible for this. Excuse me a second. I need to mute a second.
We're having a really good start this week, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I'm sorry. I'm being shouted at from downstairs that my evening meal is ready.
All right, you go get that, and I'll do some recapping in the meantime.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to ask
fine.
you to do
It's
it.
Fine. You made your way into the castle belonging to Lord Zung and his family. Well, Lord Zung, of course, being dead, that was part of the problem. You wanted to get in, and you tried the front door, but with an ever increasing number of people pushing against the gates, the people inside weren't exactly happy about the prospect of opening up that gate and letting you in. So instead, you snuck around and over the wall. Fortunately, Ilva is a reasonably good climber, and she got over the wall along with Ren. You spliced some rope beforehand so that you could, climb over and get in. And once you did, in fact, get in, you tried to do the very sneaky, quiet, let's move carefully across the courtyard thing, which of course worked pretty well until Ilva had to roll. She wasn't the only one.
I weren't the only one being noisy. I was just the only one making everything fall down.
Yes, as I was about to say, you were not the only one who failed, but you were definitely the one who failed the most spectacularly. And
hey, I want attention. Don't look away.
And consequently, it would have been just a normal failure, but you have a disadvantage making you clumsy, which means that yes, it was spectacular, and as a result, the small garrison in the courtyard who were already on edge and worried and afraid, and they were about to withdraw into the main keep. Realized that you were there, thought that they were now under attack, and decided...
Well, it certainly sounded like it.
Exactly. And 10 soldiers were ordered to deal with you, so to say. And it got to a fight, which was bloody, to put it in plain English. But it was... It was mostly noticeable for the fact that it got very close to killing off Sindri. It didn't, fortunately. He's still with us. And we...
and Gylfi, if he hadn't been lucky.
And Gylfi, but Sindri did get closer to dying than Gylfi did. So you managed to survive it. You got into the correct building, where you found Liling and the new Lord of Kepa, Jeongsung, who was the younger of the males in the family. And you also found at first who you thought to be Eileen, your seamstress friend from Lanwan, but it turns out that Eileen was in fact a cover for the Sword of the Dove, Kanashi, and
Poor Vebranda.
and poor Vebrander is now going to have to somehow cope with the fact that no chance there, my friend.
Not only did he fall in love with a man, he fell in love with another sword. How is he ever gonna explain that to our sword?
Yeah, he might just want to keep that one really quiet. But yeah, you managed to make it out of there. The new Lord Song basically spoke of making some very significant changes to the way the city was run, and the way he would not conduct his business in the same way his father had, basically, was what you got told. And he showed you a way out of Kepa, and you took Liling with you. Got outside. It was getting to be, late in the afternoon, early evening. It was getting dark, and you decided to wait outside the walls until the next day, hoping that, quite frankly, that the mess in the city would have quieted down a little bit by then. While you were out there, Liling began stargazing with Ilva and pointed out various constellations the way that she sees them, because obviously she sees constellations in the sky that she looks at different combinations of stars than people in the Southlands would, obviously, and she did, amongst other things, find a constellation that she herself seemed to be unfamiliar with, which was basically a ship, and a Southlander ship, and she was very distant when she drew it, and the moment that Ilva recognized it, she had a vision, another vision of a Southlander ship landing in the same place you had landed, near Lanwan, but it was a very different kind of place. Lanwan was basically at this point a small, filthy collection of hovels and tiny hamlet basically, but it wasn't. You could tell that it wasn't the same, or that it was the same area, because you recognized landmarks. On the other hand, the ship that came in was not the Fagerfair, but a huntsman's ship. It had a black sail. And then when you were done with that, Frothy had a vision of his own, where he was confronted by a woman with red hair, the same woman that you have been, or quite frankly have been chasing around in visions for a while now. But Frothy finally had a chance to actually share a few words with her, and she simply introduced herself as the Raven, and they had a short conversation where, amongst the most important thing that happened, was that she made it clear to Frothy that you are never going to actually find her, because there's 800 years between her and you, which kind of makes setting up a dinner date a little difficult.
Yes.
But other than that, then he still managed to. Well, he still had a short conversation with her, and she had some words of, shall we say, some words of advice towards the end, which left him a little stiff-lipped, so to say. And other than that, I think that's pretty much where we ended. Did I forget anything, guys? I don't think so.
No, he hurried to wake up Gylfi and write everything he could remember down.
That's true.
But,
He did. Yes. But other than that, no, I think that is pretty much it. And as a result, you guys are now sitting outside the city walls. The sun has just come up. Everybody's, a bit stiff because, sleeping on the ground and all that. And probably quite hungry by now as well. But other than that, you're all alright. And there you go, take it away.
Yeah, I don't suppose anyone's been out looking for food.
Nah.
You really want Elva to find your breakfast?
No.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, we have a
I mean, she could probably shoot something, but that's about it.
Except I'm not sure this area is surrounded by forests full of game. I imagine it's more surrounded by farms and rice paddies, so it's more a case of if you were to go out hunting, you might be able to hunt down and spit roast a peasant or something, or maybe a cow, or a water buffalo.
Well, the thing with chicken coops is they're easier to catch food in. Just ask the fox.
I just imagine Ilva standing with a bow and arrow, shooting arrows down into the water in a rice paddy.
She's not that stupid.
Nope.
The
So,
point is, if we want to eat, and we've got stuff to do, we need to get things in the city, so we should just head back into the city.
We also need to find our noble boy.
We need to find Noble Boy, and we need to pick up stuff from Dirty Old Man in Paraphernalia shop.
Yes. I mean, assuming he and Gylfi have finished writing everything down, Thrody will be more than happy to go back to the city and get something to eat because he's hungry. And he makes that very clear.
He doesn't have to. The of his stomach is enough.
Yep. I'm hungry.
We can hear.
So yes, I think we should all make our way quietly back into the city.
yes.
Yes.
Do we succeed in getting back into the city?
The city is much calmer this morning. There's clearly been looting going on and rioting in the streets and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that happens all the time?
But the point is that against all better judgment, it looks like things are back to reasonably normal standards. You do kind of have a feeling that the streets are a bit more, empty than they were before, but that's probably not, people are at home. It's still very early, but other than that, it looks more or less like it did before.
Mm-hmm. Just that everyone's sleeping off a particularly unpleasant hangover.
A particularly unpleasant evening, I guess.
Yeah.
The new Lord Zung did say that he was going to address his people, and that might have had a big effect, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
True. Well, I guess we should go look for our last remaining friend.
Yes, we should.
Why do we always have a tendency to have so many people with us, and then suddenly it's only us?
Because people are weak and we're not.
Oh.
Well, in this case,
And
at
we
least
like
it's
to
not
keep
because
them
they've
under
all
wraps.
died.
No, they
That
just
is
left
true.
us behind.
Maybe people just don't like us.
I think that's a very common theme with.
Speaking of people we don't like, I have a shop I need to go visit.
Oh, the nice old man.
I think I'll want something in my stomach first, though.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if I have to discuss foul magics with someone, it's always nicer to have a full stomach so I can better withstand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, food, then find people, ensure that Yiling has the means to travel back home, get her home, and then...
Well, I suppose to her new home, yes, but back home, no.
Yes.
Well, we can find some food and find Arching at the same time.
I mean,
Hopefully.
if you want to find some feud, there's plenty of that around as well.
Haha.
Anyway, shall we head back to our current roost, or would you prefer to go somewhere else?
Well,
Well,
that was
here's
what I
back
was
at the roost.
suggesting.
I guess I'm still waking up this morning.
Well, you were injured last night. It's understandable.
Well, I was injured. I was fully healed by Ren's Fluelaker, and then
At least your body was.
yes, and I did take watch. So anyway, let's get going.
Right,
So we go to the Crimson Hooker House. I don't remember.
the Scarlet Cloud.
Wasn't it the Crimson Cloud?
Actually,
No.
I think we renamed it to the Crimson Cloud instead of the Scarlet Cloud. But yeah,
It is.
Confused. It's the Red Cloud.
yes, it's the red fluffy thing in the sky. You're heading back there to see if you can find Ah Cheng, and you can in fact find Ah Cheng. He is there.
Did he seek shelter in the bosom of a whore when everything went down?
No, it doesn't seem like he has.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yes, it may very well be surprising, but it
Why is it
actually.
surprising?
Well, I'll let Rasmus explain why he thinks that's surprising.
No, I think it's surprising
Oh.
because that they think he would do that because, as far as I know from his character thingy, he always flirted with the girls, but he never went the distance because he was respectable enough to not do that.
Indeed.
I mean, there's a difference between, sleeping with someone in the village who needs to have a husband later and sleeping with someone who does it for a job, who doesn't actually
Ah.
be a virgin to get married.
Oh, in that way, yes. Well, he is there at your place of residence.
Ah, well, that makes stuff much easier.
Yes.
Arching.
Oh, powers be praised! I'm glad to see you're all alive and in one piece. And I'm assuming that you're bringing, Li Ling as well.
Of course,
Yes,
we're
of
not
course.
fucking leaving her somewhere to get lost.
Exactly. He's like, oh, good grief. Should we find? I mean, this is a very nice place, but and Li Ling just shakes her head and smiles and looks around with interest. This.
Don't worry about Ren and Eileen. They will be fine.
Right. I haven't heard from them, but I take it then that you have?
Thrody leans in and whispers, Eileen is the sword.
He stops, totally dumbstruck. His jaw hangs loose.
Thrody points towards it. I know, right?
I was hoping. Right. Never mind then. There goes my prospects for a future wife.
And then Ilva
We can
leans
still
in.
try.
Then Ilva leans in conspiratorially. And he was the one who killed this lord.
Right. Okay.
Because bastard, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. Wow. I suddenly feel. He just sits there and looks kind of fishy for a moment. I feel incredibly emasculated.
Why?
Don't
Because
worry.
clearly the woman that I had thrown my affections on, for one thing, would be able to outfight me any day of the week and not even break a sweat.
So would Ilva.
Yes, you do come from a place where that is normal.
Well, if you look at us closely, the only reason that Sindri is alright looking is because Ren healed him up. Otherwise, I'm the one who didn't actually get hurt during the fight.
Oh. Well,
No,
I'm glad that Where is Ren?
With Eileen. It seems he had some emissary duties.
Oh, right.
Emissary to the sword.
What? He just sits
What?
again and his jaw just hangs loose one more time. He's like,
Well, it explains why he always came to Lawan, right?
Yes, I suppose.
This is clearly a skill we need to work on. As Sindri says to this group, breaking news to people gently. This is something we need to develop as a life skill.
Why?
You seem to not be grasping the concept of too much information.
Nah, I don't mind. This is fun.
Yeah, look at him. He's taking it nicely.
I think I am. I haven't fainted.
Yeah.
Don't Pete your pants.
I would say,
All
I would
good
say
news.
you've seen one, so do you see them all?
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm a sight maker, and I didn't suspect anything either.
He looks over at Gylfi at his words and says, "So," he says and leans forward a little bit. So what you're telling me is that every sword out there is as gorgeous as Eileen.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
You did say if you've seen one sword, you've seen them all.
No.
I would say that's in, it's just so hard to get starstruck these days.
I mean, everyone
guess
has.
It's in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, everyone has different tastes.
Well, he says and shrugs, it doesn't change the fact that Eileen was a beautiful woman.
No, I'm
I like to think.
sure
Not really,
that
it was-
you will be
It was more of a beautiful man, really, but
I mean, possibly.
very.
well,
I think there are things, he says, just a few, about the Empire that there are some things about the Empire I don't think you've quite caught on to yet.
Most likely.
either way,
What?
they were beautiful.
In the end, we were tasked with, bringing Kneeling to where she's going. And
Well, of course.
since we scare people, I at least was hoping you would come along.
Oh, absolutely, certainly, of course. I'm happy that you would still want me to travel with you, everything considered, with all that has just happened.
Well, I think you need new object of affection. We need to find something along the way, probably.
I guess. I suppose that would be a yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
I know. If you when you're aiming that high, everything else after that feels like a step down. That's why.
You
That-
can't
that's
help
what-
but laugh at that, actually.
That's probably why Sindri will never find a wife anymore.
I don't think that's the only reason.
Why?
Luffy, I am-
Baby steps.
Why?
I'm.
Why wouldn't he?
He's ugly.
I think, and he was suffering, I think, with the same problem as you. He was aiming too high.
Everyone is accusing me of this, and I deny it wholeheartedly.
Well,
Don't worry, Sindri. I only accuse you of being ugly.
Cheng walks over to Sindri and stands next to him. Puts a hand on his shoulder. It's a bit of a breach up there, obviously, but he still does so. And says, "Listen, I don't know how it goes in the Southlands because obviously I've never visited it. But beauty is really only skin deep. Sindri is an incredibly brave man. He's a very skilled hunter. He would be able to put food on the table for a sizable family. He has a good and decent heart. Yeah, he can be grumpy. You know that yourself, Sindri, so you don't need to scowl at me for saying so. You can be grumpy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that you are, in point of fact, a nice man. I do not see any reason why you shouldn't find a wife, if that's what you want.
Very kind of you to say.
Oh, you're welcome.
Beauty might be only skin deep, but to get to that skin, you need to get through that, amount of bush.
I know you said I'm a nice man, but I only think I'm alright
I did
because I feel I should have permission to shoot him.
I don't think that actually detracts from your niceness when he says, things like that about you. Nobody says you have to shoot him to kill him. You can just, somewhere painful.
I mean, I could unman him.
Why deprive so many women of so much pleasure?
And I said in the beginning I wouldn't shoot a person that would be tending your wounds. It's just, good thing for the future. And cooks your food.
Speaking of food, I need food. Frody flags down a waiter.
Yes. Actually, Hanako herself comes over and takes your order today because a good deal of the staff hasn't turned up this morning because everybody is still worried after what happened yesterday. So she will be taking some of the orders today, and she does tell you all, or express to all of you, that she's happy that you're all well, and she does ask to hear where Eileen and Ren might be, and if they're all right.
They're alright, but I don't think they'll come back. They have other plans at the moment.
She looks a little uncomfortable at that, and at that moment, Ah-Cheng just immediately shakes his head and says, "Don't worry. I'll cover their expenses. The reason they're not coming back is not voluntary. So, I will be." I'll be covering the cost of their rooms. Actually, I might as well do so right now. And she nods and does look a little relieved at that because, obviously they had been staying here for, a day and a half to almost 2 days.
Is it just me that
No.
Joan seems to be cutting out?
No, it's whenever she doesn't speak loudly.
Oh, okay. I have tried turning up
Yeah, it works fine, but whenever you kind of trail off, it starts only picking some of it up.
Call upon great acting talent and enunciate every conceivable syllable.
Okay, this is only going to make sense to you and to Rasmus, but I refuse to be Imperial Magistrate Fu.
Oh dear God.
What?
Exactly. It's something only me and Rasmus will get. You will find out when you get to that stage in the books.
Yes.
I
Anyway,
think I recall you don't like using push to talk. If you do, it will pick up your voice clearer because then it'll just pick up everything whenever you hold it down.
yeah, but I'm no good at using that. I forget it way too often. So
It's just something we have to work around as we can.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's fine.
anyway,
Ooh.
ladies
Yes.
and gentlefolk, you are getting some food, and Ah-Cheng is dealing with the bill basically for your two now absent compatriots, and yeah,
How very good of him.
yes.
Okay, so now I think we just have our breakfast and make sure. Because did we have any of?
I agree.
Liling had a I don't know what you'd call it. Not a sedan chair, but so she was traveling in something.
Oh, she was traveling
She had
in
a cart.
yes, she had a cart, and it is stabled here.
Yes.
Because the people who drove this thing are also living here.
Okay,
So,
Along with the horses.
yes.
fair enough. So I think then in that case,
You
case
you
of
get
everyone.
you get food, and somebody needed to go and pick up some stuff.
Yes, Frodi eats quite swiftly because
Yes.
he wants to go and. I mean, if the old man is still alive, which he seems like the kind of guy who would be alive, then he
Yes.
needs to buy a skull, and if not, he wants to be one of the first ones to get there to loot the store.
It's
Well-
a case of. You say he's a quick eater. I just have this image of them all sitting there, and then there's a sort of sound,
Just
like
imagining.
vacuuming up the food, literally.
I just imagine him picking up the plate, then dumping it all into his mouth, and then leaving.
God.
Not that swiftly.
No, but you do kind of wolf down your food, and then you head off. Does anybody go with him, or is it only him?
Ylva is.
Okay, Ylva goes with him.
You didn't have
And
to
then
go.
she drags Gilfie along because he had Healy stuff.
Oh, right, that's right. So,
And Ylva did buy 2 pots of Healy stuff for Gilfie.
that is true. So,
Thieves.
So she haven't given it to him yet because he hasn't behaved yet.
Trying with the carrot instead of the stick.
Yep.
and
She hasn't even shown him.
So, what about Sindri? Do you stay behind, or what do you do?
Sindri's going to make sure that all the preparations for getting the cart and the are ready. That the people
Sure.
who are
Yes.
the people are ready, and we'll probably try and connect with Lily a bit, since he's not really done that. Everyone else seems to have at least sat down and had a proper chat at her.
Yes.
So he hasn't had a chance to do that yet. So
Oh, she's more than happy to. And but we'll deal with the others first.
Yes,
the
that's
3
fair.
people who skedaddle a few blocks over to go and find ye oldie creepy man.
Yay!
Yes, and lo and behold, the store is still there. Nobody has looted it. It should probably be said that the 3 stores before that have been looted, and the 4 stores after that have also been looted.
Yeah.
But that store has not been looted.
oh, they've left it alone for very good reason.
Ha! I knew the old geezer was too tough to die. Frodi says as he walks in.
Yes. You walk in, and yet again you find yourself surrounded by esoterica on all sides, and up at the end of the room you see the same very old man sitting with his smoking apparatus. And he looks up when you enter and indicates with his head that he has noticed that you are there, and yeah, what you do.
Ah! Good morning, old man. I'm here for my incense and your wife.
Yes, my wife, you showed an interest in her remains, strange one. Did you not?
Yes, I did.
Well, if you would take her off the shelf, please.
Frodi goes to pick up the skull.
Yes. You pick up the skull and carry it over, and I assume carry it over to where he's sitting.
Yes, probably examining it along the way.
Yes. He holds out his hands to take it,
I give it to him.
and he takes it in one hand, and then raises almost like an admonishing finger at the skull, and looks at it quite sternly, but with a grin on his face, which is nothing short of disconcerting. And he's like,
Now, dear. It was before the priests and the powers an oath to stay together until we were divided by death. No, do not argue with me. I am finally free of your nagging. Do not be so callous. I have at least asked for a reasonable price. Well, if you are going to be like that, I am going to give this young man a discount.
Thordy does not protest.
I believe I said 1,000 silver pieces, did I not, young one?
I do not remember.
Let us make it 900 instead.
Yes. Can I borrow some money from someone?
Is he asking that, or are you asking that?
I think Thrody leans in towards Ylva and half whispers in Southland. Could I borrow some money to free this woman from her horrible husband?
How much do you need?
I have 160 silver pieces.
How much is that in their currency again?
160 silver pieces.
I only have 100 left.
How many gold pieces how many silver pieces is a gold piece worth in the Lotus Empire?
10.
So you could use up some of the many, many, many gold shavings you might still have on you.
Do I have gold shavings? That's a good question.
We did split a massive profit from Tearglass between us at some
Yes,
point.
we
And
did.
spent
The coin that you took from the hilltop settlement.
Yes, I know I spent, 500 silver pieces on the outfit.
Yeah.
because I've
I don't think... Do I have more than that?
well,
Should I have more than that?
I think we all split it pretty evenly because I've still got I've got 3,998 gold pieces apparently.
Yeah.
71 silver pieces. And 800, so you
I've
could-
been, you did say that you split it evenly, but I'm not keeping track of how whether you type it into your character sheets, obviously.
I may have forgotten then, or typed it somewhere else. Let me check.
Yep. So you should have, unless you might have spent some of it, but you did.
Yeah.
We did split it at about 4,000 gold pieces each. So
Yeah, you made a massive amount of money there, so I've been a little, wondering why you were so frugal at times.
Well, I haven't actually noted that down. I only noted the thing down we got paid with.
Ah, okay.
it goes to show.
Yeah, I think I have only done that too.
It goes to show that Sindri, being the miser, is the only one who's bothered to note this in his character sheet.
Yes.
So
Well,
Sindri
I
is
don't
now.
remember ever being told.
So
Me neither, actually.
we were. It was explicitly okay. Let's just assume you got the
Not
money
only
paid.
was it explicitly told, but I also remember that you were all like, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money."
I must just have been one of the woo.
I suggest
I
that
thought that was what I had noted down in silver pieces.
maybe
No.
But that might have been what we've been paid then.
it probably was.
We were paid 400 something
Yeah,
silver pieces
you found-
each by
you found
the Tear Glass
thousands.
Man thingy.
Yeah, you found thousands of gold pieces, and because basically you in that place you intercepted the payroll.
Yeah.
For Liam's army in the south, you intercepted the entire payroll.
Yes.
In that case, would you allow me to note down some gold pieces on my character sheet?
Yes, I will. How much did you say you had left, Chris?
I'd had originally 4,000. I think I'd spent 2 gold on something.
Yeah, let's just say that you guys have. Let's make it easy and say 3,750
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, that is a huge lot of money to have missed.
Yes. I genuinely have not understood why you were being so frugal.
Well,
Yes.
Now I know.
this is why-
Now I know.
I suggested
Because me and Frodi are both idiots who didn't understand the fact that we all had to note down the gold we found from that place.
Right.
And we only noted the thing down that we were paid by Karatar.
Oh, right.
Yes, I will happily accept being called an idiot for this. In that
I mean,
case,
it's a lot of
I
money.
would like to pay the man for his wife
Yes.
and my incense.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Every time you say that, I just can't help but laugh.
It does sound wrong, doesn't it? But at the same
It
time, it's
kinda
very
does.
it's very true.
I think Ilva can't help herself as he pays for her and says,
Yes.
well, Sindri will be able to find one who will freely be married with him. You have to buy yourself a wife. He's already dead.
No, I bought his wife.
The old
Yes.
old man looks at all of you, and then cants his head slightly to the side and says,
Oh, that was in Southland.
"Oh, okay." Then he doesn't say anything.
Well,
And she
Thordy,
does say it in Southland for the only reason that it is very rude toward the old man.
Yes, I think what Thordy does is he holds out the pouch,
Yeah.
and it was 900 silver, or was it 900 gold?
900 silver.
I believe it
which-
was 900 silver. Yes.
That's 90 gold pieces, basically.
Then I should not subtract 900 gold. I am not good with money.
Not 900 gold, 90 gold.
Right. Thordy holds out a pouch with the money and says, I would like to know her name.
Her name was. Oh, her name was many things, strange one. I usually called her. That cow.
I would
It
like
was
to
not,
know.
It was not a happy marriage.
Yes, I would like to know her name.
Very well. Her name was. Way.
In that case, he dumps the pouch in the old man's hand and, gestures for please hand over skull.
Well, he hands over the skull, and he looks a little too pleased to be rid of the thing.
Yes, I imagine he would. Thordy, for his part, looks at the skull and does a sort of polite gesture towards it and says, "It's nice to meet you, Wei."
You see a very brief. There are these two semi-precious stones in the eye sockets. You could
Yes.
swear that you see something moving behind them.
I've bought the creepiest of creep skull.
Mm-hmm.
Ilva elbows Frodi carefully. Still in Southlands asks, so when's the wedding night?
I can't marry a married woman.
Well, she's not married anymore. It's to death do you part.
Well, I can't marry a dead woman, can I?
Are you sure? You just bought her.
Pretty sure our laws forbid the marrying of dead people.
Ilva chuckles.
Well, thank you for the deal.
No, strange one. Thank you.
I assume I got the incense as well, by the way.
Oh yes. Yes.
Cool. Well, Thordy looks to the others and say, well, should we look around a bit, or should we get going?
I have many interesting things for everybody.
Oh, right, Gylfi. This is the place I bought some powders and ointments for healing. He might know more, but I don't know exactly what you need.
I'm pretty stocked up, but yeah, I'm always into looking into some new medicine.
Apparently, if you take dust from that corpse, she points at the corpse Brody also talked about, you get a boner for a longer time.
Nah. Well,
We now know how Viagra was made.
I don't know if this is too much sharing, but I do not have the problems with it yet.
It'll come.
Ha! It won't.
He looks
Well-
at Gylfi and puts his long bony fingertips together in front of his face and looks over the tip of them in the most in the creepiest way imaginable and goes,
So you are a healer, are you, strange one?
And you're cutting out again.
I think the voice is too low.
yeah, the voice is probably
Yeah.
too low. He said, I'll try again.
So you are a healer, strange one, is that correct?
More of a patching up the holes, but
I
Yeah.
have just the thing for you then.
of course you do.
And he looks to Frothy and then points one of these aforementioned long bony fingers towards a specific shelf in the back of the room.
Could you get me the black and red lacquered box from that shelf?
Trudy shrugs and goes to get it.
You get it, and it's a long.
Surprisingly
It's a flat box. It's relatively long. It's about the length of your lower arm. About as high as the width of your hand. And bring it back to him.
Of course.
Yep. Well, he puts it on the table in front of him and opens it so that he opens it towards you so you can see what's in there. And it's a set of surgical tools.
Ooh, cool.
And they're clearly of superb quality.
Gylfi strokes his chin. It's like, No, sorry for the mandatory question. Considering the ambience of your shop, they are not cursed, are they?
No, I sell no items that are cursed unless, of course, people specifically ask for them.
Okay. Gylfi like points at them. May I?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He delicately
They,
like.
I can tell you, they have only ever failed one patient.
Not the most. Not the most great recommendation. At least it was unused.
Oh no, these have seen use, I assure you. These belonged, you understand, to a physician in the service of none other than the Red Emperor himself.
Oh boy.
Joy.
Do go on.
Sorry, what did you say?
I just said do go on.
Oh, he says.
Well, this physician was the official medical person to assist not only the Red Emperor himself, but his entire family. As I said, it only ever failed one person. The Red
Wasn't
Emperor
there-
himself in the end. And the Empire is richer for it.
I suppose. Oh, yeah, I guess probably like test like whatever like something that like test them if they are sharp.
Oh, they are razor sharp.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very high quality craftsmanship. The steel is obviously not of exactly as high quality as what you'd find in the Southlands, but you wouldn't find many smiths in the Southlands capable of making anything quite this good. You know, maybe the smiths of the Red Mountain, but that's it.
So, how much do you want for them?
I see a great deal of need for something like this in your future, young man. I think I shall be fair. If you are willing to give me, shall we say, 250 silver pieces, these are yours.
Okay, that's very much acceptable.
I do not believe in overcharging for my wares. People do not come back to buy more in that case.
Do they even? No offense, but like, just the fact that you have recurring customers is surprising. Yeah, well, if you're okay parting ways with those,
I absolutely am.
gladly.
And what for you, young lady, you who are so obviously a warrior? Is there nothing I can tempt you with?
Oh, that was for me.
Yes.
Sorry, I was like, I wonder who he's talking to now. Derp. Alright. Yeah, that's your cue. Wake up. Anyway, Ilva shrugs with a... I don't really know what I would need.
Well, he shrugs and says,
As you can see, I have a little bit of everything here. But
I can see that, but I still don't know what I'd need. I have no clue about magic.
Well,
not everything here is magical, obviously, but much of it is.
well, if I may butt in,
Of course.
this big kind man has said that he is capable of acquiring enchanted weaponry. Should you be willing to pay for it?
Indeed. But the cost is high.
And I'm rather fond of my warhammer.
Well, I'm certain he could use that.
I would be able to ensure that it is ensorcelled, if that is what you wish, young lady. But the price is, as I mentioned, significant.
Yeah, what I've learned from making magical weapons, it costs the life of someone who knows magic to make one.
Obviously, yes.
So I think I'm fine.
Very well.
If you can get these guys something so they don't get hurt during battle, that would help. She points at the others.
then he looks to the rest of you again, the other two, and then, with a questioning look on his face to see if you have anything else you wish to buy, or if, in fact, this is, a matter of business concluded.
Do you have bones for divination?
Bones, you say? Now, this is a method I am unfamiliar with.
The last part dropped out.
I am not familiar with this method of divination.
Ah, well, Three takes out his own divination kit and shows him how it's done.
I suppose any bones could do, but better if they are special. Am I correct?
You are.
Then I have something that may be suitable.
He gets up and walks.
He actually manages to get
Oh
up.
yeah, he gets up. And he walks. He holds up a hand to to signify that you need to wait a little bit, and then he comes back a little bit later with a small box. He's closing the box as he comes back, and he sits back down and puts the box in front of you, and smiles and says,
I think you will find that to be to your liking, strange one. It is the right thumb bones of 7 brothers.
30 examines them.
they are indeed the outermost joint of a thumb from 7 different people.
I imagine they are, thumb bones, not carved or anything.
No, they're completely, you can prepare them as you want.
That's ideal.
Yes.
And he mentions as much. I could prepare these however I wanted.
Indeed, he says, and takes out, he reaches down and touches each of the 7 bones until he gets to the 6th one, and he's like,
Yes, this one.
he takes it out, and then he binds a little piece of red silk string around it, puts it back in there, and says,
That brother was Mahotskai.
Oh, how interesting. How much would you want for them?
I shall... seeing as I did not know their value for this purpose until this moment, I shall settle for, shall we say, 150. I did have to split 7 different hands.
I think that could work, yes. Thrody buys them.
right,
Then I will note down more divination bones.
yes.
Never have too many, because
That is
eventually
true.
I'll start burning some of them if I need really specific answers.
Indeed. And this is what everybody needs, or am I mistaken?
Well, Sindri's talking about Ilva's clumsiness, but Ilva's not thinking about this. So if he wants her to be less clumsy, he should say, what about something about that?
Yeah, but Sindri isn't there. Sindri stayed behind.
Oh, that is true. I forgot that he stayed behind.
Yes.
But Gylfi and Brody is there. Ilva doesn't believe she needs anything to help her hit anything, because that is doing fine. So she doesn't really know what else she could use. She's not thinking about the fact that she alerted the entire compound because she got out almost scot-free.
Well, Thrody is, I think, a little busy looking at all the nice things.
Yeah, and Ilva's not thinking about it.
Yeah, Gylfi pocketed his new toys, and then you see,
Yes.
speaking on the shelves, tapping his food with just.
Yes. Incidentally, it should be said that the tools that you got, the surgical tools, They are of such high quality that if you need to check your any medical check, basically, that involves using tools, it's not just a matter of making a diagnosis, but any treatment that involves using these surgical tools will be made at a +2 to your skill level.
I don't know.
Nice.
Probably Gilfie is like thinking about like getting like a bath or hot springs before they leave. Now, just like I got my toys. It's just like
Yes. Well, so shall we? If that is what you wish to buy here, basically, we can take a break here, and when we get back, we'll go over and see what happens at the compound with Sindri and the others for a little while.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so we will take a short break and be right back with more of the Long Voyage on the flip side of this. So don't go anywhere.